Good evening and welcome to Gunner Shot. Today we're going to discuss and debate a very interesting topic. Are US hawks swooping down? You know on whom? That little reptile. Okay, having said that, why have I chosen this topic? Just in the past what 4 days, not even 3, 4 days, I came across some interesting reactions from China and interesting developments, which was not really reported in other media. But the Chinese media is pretty, observant about all these things. So I picked up their views, their reportage, and then I said, look, there's something happening. First day I didn't, second day I reacted, third day I made a small video and put it out for 10 minutes about 3 days back. And now I find there's a larger thing. And what's more interesting is, like many people talk, oh, Biden administration is doing this, Trump administration is going to do that. There's nothing of that kind. I think there's a lot of sync in this transition, unlike probably before. Actions which are happening are completely in sync with what Biden had to do with China. I don't think Trump will do different, and he might be doing more. That's the story which I get. Okay, so let's dive into the whole subject. Who are the Trump hawks? The Trump hawks identified by China are these six people: Mark Rubio, who's the Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, who's the Defense Secretary, the National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, and then, of course, uh, John Radcliffe, who's going to head the CIA, uh, Lady Tulsi Gabbard, who's going to be the Director of National Intelligence, and the US Trade Rep. He's just been nominated yesterday. And he is against going to be, the Chinese expect him to be a hardliner. Why a hardliner? He was part of the Trump tariff negotiation team the last time around. He was number two then, now he's become number one. And of these, Rubio, Ratcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, and Michael Waltz are supposed to be pro-Indian. So it makes the whole thing interesting. But today there's nothing much about India. We are going to talk about in US and China more. Okay, where does it start? There's yet another person Trump has nominated. Very interesting. It's gone under the radar. This gentleman, Keith Kellogg, he's a retired Army Lieutenant General, 3-star. What has he been done? What is he going to do? He's a special envoy for Ukraine, Russia. This is a position which no one has held so far. Okay? And what is the expectation? The expectation is that he will negotiate to end the war. And this comes today morning from Washington Post. You see, this is a Washington Post report. Very interesting. So then I said, I put my thinking cap on. Without hair, you need a cap. So, and then scratch my brain, and I said, okay, let me put across something like this. See, we'll have to see this entire story which is happening against the backdrop of the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire, which has come into effect already. I'll analyze the outcomes of that part of the story a little more. Something interesting is happening in this ceasefire and beyond. Then, of course, Trump has already said that he wants to end the Russia-Ukraine war. What will be the outcome of that? Okay. Iran has surprisingly cooled off. If you've seen past 2 weeks, Iran chup बैठ गया. Is it because of Israeli retaliatory strikes, where Israel has, ripped apart their air defense systems As a result, Iran knows that it is defenseless. Is that it? The combination of these three is, I think, enabling US to shift focus to China. It's apparent now to my way of thinking. And we'll see this as we go along. The focus now is on China. That's why the hawks are swooping down. Okay. So this is what South China Morning Post said today. Look at this. Trump trade war 2.0 is a big, you know, much higher wave. And it says China is still smarting from Trump's last tariff blitz. So China has to be ready for this. And keeping in line with this, he's already Trump has put a tariff on China, Mexico, and Canada. China 10% over what all, or he's planning. He says he'll announce it. 30% on Mexico and 30% on Canada. The first reaction is from Canada. Oh, भाई साहब उसने तो पैंट गीला हो गया उसका. उसने बोला नहीं हम बात करेंगे. Mexico is, you know, put a bit of a tough statement out, and China has kept quiet. It's very important. Look at this graph. You know, this is Mexico, this is China, and this is Canada. Look what's happened in the past 2 years here. Mexico imports have gone up and the Chinese imports have gone down. Very clearly, a lot of imports from China are now being routed through Mexico. So if it is 30% tariff on Mexico, there will be a backlash on China. 10% direct tariff on China. Already there are some tariffs. Okay. So the screws on this game are being turned. And I don't think there'll be a reversal of this. That's my gut feeling. Right? You'll see this increasing as days go by, and you'll see some effect. It's not as if Trump is going to shake up the whole system. That's clear to us. Okay. And then this is new again. Today, a lot of news coming out from China. They're looking at more chip sanctions. And this chip sanctions, I don't think Biden is going to wait. Jate jate he's going to put. So it gives me the feeling that the Biden team and this new transition team, there is already some communication on, and things are being, it's no more, look, everyone says Biden is a lame duck administration. Yes, he's lame duck. But on this, he's not lame duck. He is doing what he has to do. And I don't think the Trump administration is pulling their punches back. You wait, we'll come and do. I think there is an understanding. They might even be egging them on. Go ahead, do it. We'll look after the backside or the back end of the story later. Now let's look at the military part of it. The military part of it, as it is emerging, to my way of looking at it, is very, very, very interesting. Okay, first, HIMARS is being deployed to South Japan. Where is this being deployed? I mean, HIMARS with its ATACMS, range 300 kilometers, multiple warheads. Okay, and this is a very stable weapon system being in use from 91. Mach 3. So it's not a small, slow stuff. It's a fast missile. Okay, where is it being deployed? Here. In these areas. South Japan. Just south of the Miyako Straits. I'll come to that a little later. Then, Philippines is going to host a US missile unit. Okay, where is that going to happen? That's the Typhoon. First and foremost, that's the Typhoon launcher. Okay, the Typhoon launcher can fire the Tomahawk missiles. The Tomahawk missiles, they have a range of 2,500 kilometers. With 2,500 kilometers sitting in Philippines, they can cover up China and entire South China Sea. Incidentally, these were deployed in April 24 as part of an exercise. Only thing now it's going to be made permanent, and it's a road mobile system, so you can't catch it. It's a mobile launcher, and every mobile launcher is difficult to track. Where is it going to get deployed? It's going to get deployed here in Luzon, northernmost part. This is Taiwan. This is called the Bashi Strait or the Bashi Channel, but 50 kilometers wide. So virtually, I'll explain this here. If this channel is going to be blocked, HIMARS is going to come here, and HIMARS is going to come here. From the north, also movement is blocked. So all those, blockade, all that nonsense, now we'll have to rethink. And if China wants to do this blockade and all, they'll continue to do. उसमें क्या है? कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा उससे. Okay, now let me show this a little bigger. Right? So this is Luzon, Philippines, Bashi Channel, Taiwan. This is where the HIMARS is going to come. This is the Miyako Strait, and this is the Tokara Strait, and this is Okinawa. Okinawa is a base. So what are you going to have? You're going to have a missile unit here, a Tomahawk unit here, a HIMARS unit here. Okinawa is already a base, and this is already a base. So this entire line, this is the first island chain line. And these three axes are going to get blocked with this move. Okay. Now, does it stop here? No. Till here, almost I did the video about 2 days back. But yesterday, this came up. Now, US is now looking at a nuclear submarine being, deployed here. Where? In Guam. Okay, this is going to be a Virginia class nuclear attack submarine, which was not deployed till recently. Incidentally, this got deployed already. It's there. It's already reached Guam. It's not prospective. What does this do? Just to give you an idea, it's a fast attack, nuclear powered fast attack sub. It's got 12 vertical launch tubes, part of a triad. Okay, it's a huge one. It's 115 meters long, 7,800 tons, with a speed of 25 knots, very fast underneath. Right? It's got a lot of modern features. It's got a photonic mast, so the traditional periscope is not there. And it's got a fly-by-wire control system to go into shallow depths. It's already deployed in Guam. It's joined the fleet there. हम तो यूक्रेन, Israel वगैरह देख रहे हैं, यहाँ एक्शन हो रहा है. I told you, one day I'll get back to South China Sea. Right? Right. This is not all. This comes out yesterday. What? Taiwan is carrying out training to carry out urban warfare. And where are they doing it? In cities. So they're expecting, चलो आ जाओ अभी urban warfare में, we'll train our boys, young chaps, जो भी है. And Taiwan is now, I think, very serious about their own defense. Okay. So the question with China, will Trump return signal stormier waters for Beijing in South China Sea? Of course it will. There's no doubt about it. So South China Sea is going to be the focus. So hereafter you will find all kinds of heroes in this YouTube channel will flock to their YouTube, flock to South China Sea, start learning, यार वहाँ island कौन सा है, वहाँ पानी क्या होता है, all that nonsense. and they'll start fibbing to you. I'm telling you now itself. Okay. But then my poor old me, I know South China Sea well. I've studied it for the past 3, 4 years. I'll give you the truth. So I'll give you the truth, but I'll not analyze South China Sea today fully. That I'll do one another day. But this is the story which is happening. Okay. So the other interesting part of this is there's a US Philippines task force which has been made. This task force is going to be operating in South China Sea. So once the US Philippines task force operates in the South China Sea, China will have problems to, with its coast guard and all, to loaf around freely. I mean, one doesn't know the actual outlines of this task force and how they will behave and all that. But we have a task force. It's task. What is a task force? A task force is something which is tasked, a force made specifically tailor made for a particular task to execute it. In this case, this task force, it seems, is to patrol South China Sea. Over and above this, there are reports that the Quad countries will also carry out patrols. Quad countries carry out patrols. This task force carries out patrols, and all that problem of with China bossing around and saying, "Though this island is mine, that island is mine," bullying Philippines will start coming down. As it is, China is stuck there. Okay, so but then we'll talk of it. Now, this is the larger picture of. Have a look at it a little closer. This is the larger picture of the first island chain. This is the first island chain, right? And this is the second island chain, and this is Guam. Now, all these black ones are the earlier bases, right? So this is where the bases were there earlier. Now these yellow ones are the ones where this is where the Typhoon is going to get deployed. This is where HIMARS is going to get deployed, and this is where the Virginia class is going to get deployed. Sub. So this with from here, okay, from here he can react here, he can react here, he can react anywhere, and this distance is about 500-600 kilometers. A matter of 5-6 hours, this submarine will be effective anywhere here. It can forward deploy. Okay, with these bases, over and above that, though here there are two stars which are shown where Philippines bases are there. Actually, the deal between US and Philippines is that US will have 4 bases in Philippines. So here I've only shown you 3. In fact, there's a base which they've shown. Whether this is the base or not, I'm not very sure. But they might have a forward base anywhere. And the deal was to have, what shall I say, mobile bases that aaj idhar kal udhar type, not a permanent base in Philippines. That puts, actually, that's a very lethal thing. So the base can be anywhere. It's a mobile base. Now, if you look at it, you see a whole lot, even in Malaysia and Vietnam, and not Vietnam, this is in Thailand. So US forces are deployed. Till about 2 years back, the whole story was that, okay, they can deploy where they want and no problem. It doesn't matter how we are and all that. But the fact was, 2 years back, 3 years back, US didn't have so many bases. They were quite concentrated. At that time, China made a lot of noise. Oh, we have DF-21, we have DF-17, they are carrier killers. We'll kill all your carriers, all that. So what USA did, they said, okay, we'll have small bases and many more. They've redeployed in the past 2 years. It's only when, I saw these 3 articles on Typhoon being deployed, on HIMARS being deployed, and this Virginia class sub coming in. Did I start piecing all of them together? And this is the picture which has come out. And these bases are going to be lethal. You can't knock out all bases, right? China doesn't have that capability. And with so much spread out, they also cover complete China. Actually, China is now hemmed in, contained completely, if you understand what has happened. Okay. And this is not something which will happen just because Trump has come. This has happened over the past 2, 3 years of Biden administration. Now the hawks will take off from here. The dragon will be caught in this jal. But this is not the only thing. Let me explain a little more. Look at this map. This is a very interesting map again. Okay, I'll make it full. This is a very interesting map. It shows the yellow dots which are here are those which are already bases. Okay, these blue ones are potential bases, and these are places where some basing is already there, or there are presence of US troops. And from the time this map was made, many of these are now turned into stars, which I showed you earlier. These are the bases, approximately. Now, what happens is if you look at it right from South Korea, Japan, this first island chain, this is Okinawa, all this Japanese territory, here down to Philippines, and down to Malaysia, Thailand. Malaysia obviously is Malaysia and Singapore. You have a Singapore base to control Malacca Strait and a base in Thailand. And what does Thailand base do? It will hit Yunnan. And if this fellow gets this St. Martin's Island, then thing is in problem. Look, I am not interested whether they get St. Martin's Island or not. But if they get, it will affect China. Of course, it affects us also, but that's a different story. We're not talking of US China relationship. Does it stop here? It doesn't stop here. Why? You look at it, what's happened because of this deployment. Now, these are the passages out of South China Sea. Right? Let me name them. This is the Korean Strait. This is the Tokara Strait. This is the Miyako Strait. This is the Bashi Channel. And from here, this is the Vetar Strait, Lombok Strait, Sunda Strait, and the Malacca Strait. So, all these now are covered. If all these are covered, where does China move out with its navy? That's the $1 million question. Please understand. China can't deploy its navy the way it might have the biggest navy. It can't deploy. And the Chinese know it. That is why they have more number of small craft. They want to defend. If everyone is going to sit around you like this, the way it is here, everyone is going to sit around you like this, you have to defend. You can't just say, I'll keep on the offensive. You have to defend your homeland. And one of these days, I'll discuss the military geography of China to make you understand how vulnerable China is. Look, let me tell you, China might have many planes more than us. It might have more ships than us. It might have more, whatever, rockets, and all. But it has to defend 15,000 kilometers of its coastline. And that's where its heartland is. I've shown you the vulnerability here. Okay. And if you really look at this map closely, China faces actually 4 fronts. One is in Korea, the second is in Taiwan, the third is in Philippines, and fourth is India. You think he went back from us just for fun? How can he handle 4 fronts? You are not able to handle 2 fronts in peace or confidently. Just think of the Chinese, they have to handle 4 fronts. Okay, does the whole story stop here? No, it doesn't stop here. Let's look at it further. Hey, Korean Peninsula, friend, this fellow Kim Jong Un, there he's done a bit of a trick on Xi Jinping. He's gone, made friends with Putin. He's giving ammunition to Putin. He's given, he has got off his all his communications today are on a Russian satellite, not on Chinese satellite. And when did this happen? Early last year or late last year. He switched. Now already Trump's people are talking with this fellow. The moment he starts talking with Trump and this whole thing starts happening, China starts feeling uneasy. That's it. And just last month or 2 weeks back, uh, in that epic conference, uh, Xi Jinping conveyed to Biden that Korean Peninsula, peace on the Korean Peninsula is my priority. It's my red line. I will not allow Korean Peninsula to get destabilized. Why? It affects his heartland. We don't understand this very easily. I have a look at it again. This is Korea. This is Korea, North Korea. North Korea has borders with China, and North Korea is closer to Beijing. Okay, and the entire your Bohai Sea and LOC is all Korean Peninsula. So anything happening in the Korean Peninsula, is very uncomfortable for Xi Jinping. So that is why this, he's very worried. That's why he's given this warning to Biden. And I'll talk more about Korea one of these days. It's a very interesting thing. Okay. The second thing is last year, Japan, South Korea, and US had almost a treaty for their trilateral cooperation. Now, traditionally, Japan and South Korea have not had much cooperation, but now they have. US has brought them together last year. So it's almost a pact. And, you know, 2 years back, uh, USA was deploying THAADs in South Korea and they were adding some weapon systems in South Korea. China made a lot of noise. They almost stopped deployment of THAAD. Why? Because the moment you deploy THAAD there, Chinese missiles are under threat. The same one which they've now deployed, one of them, one battery they've deployed in Israel. I did explain about it a little earlier, one of the videos. So anything happening in Korea, Japan is a problem for Xi Jinping. That's a new front. Okay. Does it end there? It doesn't. Now US, Japan, Australia, all of them say, okay, we'll get together and we'll have intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance cooperation and all that. Plus the Quad. Plus, US has individual, you know, um, equations with Malaysia, with Thailand, and all that. So if you notice in this entire area, all these countries have security relationship with USA, trade relationship with China. They'll say trade, I'll trade with you. But agar, oh, if they are under threat, they'll say go to daddy. Daddy is USA. They can't survive. So now you see what will happen when Trump team comes in. All this has happened, you know, as far as China is concerned, there's a bipartisan approach. Till now, this military deployment was going under the radar, but now it's come over the radar all of a sudden, just about past 1 week. So, action, right? Yeah, I have actually, this is what I had to tell you today. Not a long, you know, discourse, but the fact is that we are going through a transition and an interesting time. I've always maintained today there are three theaters of war. One is Ukraine, Russia, second is Iran, Israel, and third is this. That's tailing down. Ukraine, Russia, I think will, you know, slowly wind down because there are issues where they try. If you remember, we did that thing where these chaps are fired at camps and Storm Shadow missiles and all that, and they have fired this MRBM with re-entry vehicles, all getting into position. Simultaneously, there's a move to get geared up down. So if that ends and the Israel Hezbollah thing also kicks in, then US has got all the time to focus on China. China knows it. That's why he's disengaged from us. I mean, if you now see why China is doing what it does, it knows where it stands. On one hand, North Korea, Korean Peninsula is getting heated up. You see the first island chain getting beefed up. You see attack subs have come in, nuclear subs. So he'll say, यार मोदी जी छोड़ दो हमें, तुम पेट्रोल करते रहना, हम बाकी करते रहेंगे. So that's the logic. And we need to understand the Korea story better, which I'll do maybe next week sometime. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about Korea, and I'll also talk about China's military geography, how poor it is. Right. So this is what I had to say. So you're going to see things ahead and tightening of screws on China. So all those people who say, yeah, China will become the number one superpower in the world and all, just relax. It's not going to happen. Okay. So that's all. So let me take some questions from all of you. Before that, I have, okay, this is great. Hardeep Javanda, thanks a lot for joining me as a member. Uh, Honored. And Sri Hari gifted 50 Gunner Shot memberships. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Hari. So nice of you. It's good. Like I said, I'll help people. And this, of course, it's me thinking who says, I think China and US are in geopolitical game. Your view. So yes, they are in a geopolitical game. There's no doubt about it. But this geopolitical game, whatever is happening is good for us. The way it's now moving, right? We are also in a geopolitical game. I mean, why be sort of shy about it? You're a rising power, and we should start thinking big. Okay, that's how I look at it. Okay, uh, yeah. So now, Vishwanathan says, till the 70s, USA had a vibrant manufacturing skill. Now it has moved to Asia and China. Having diluted the skill prowess, can they bring back industry? If so, the timeline. Our generation has seen a growing India which has lost its manufacturing capabilities in the 90s following the economic reforms. And our attempt to infuse industrial growth is hampered by the limited availability of skilled manpower. Following our independence, we had built a system of engineers, diploma holders, right, and all that. And where's your next question? Yeah, forming a distinct pyramidal structure. This was disrupted. Uh, As on date, China seems to have a distinct advantage. Will it not be an uphill task? I completely agree with you, Vishnathan. It's going to be an uphill task. It's not going to be easy handling China. And that is why my focus is on China most of the time. Because he is our biggest neighbor, he is our most troublesome neighbor, and he's a very uh, tough neighbor to handle. Okay, and he is colluding completely with Pakistan. Let me be very clear, and I'm going to talk of it on Sunday. On Sunday in the open house, I'm going to tackle two, three things. We're going to talk of China-Pak collusion. We are also going to talk of Chinese mercenaries and private security companies which have started operating because some of them are going to get deployed in Pakistan and things like that. So we have to keep our antenna up with them. How we do it is a challenge. In fact, unfortunately, to my way of thinking, we're not doing enough. We're just not doing enough to scale. How we do it to scale is our challenge. I also understand it won't happen in overnight. The past 5 years, we had this golden opportunity, which we have not utilized well. So, how do we utilize the next 4 5 years is the question mark. If you don't do it in the next 4 5 years, your opportunity is gone. The education system in America is so bad. How can they rebuild? I don't know whether what you're saying is right. Yours is opinion. If it is so bad, why are everyone going to America? Why are Chinese going to America? Why are Indians going to America in such great numbers? They have their problems. So it's their headache. Let them build it. That is the way I look at it. As far as we are concerned, uh, our education is something okay. There's a lot of room for improvement. I agree, but we have to work it out. Yeah, interesting. So, what do you think would be the end game of us, according to you? Look, okay. Now you said this. Let me answer. The way I look at it, the moment that Russia-Ukraine war starts cooling down, we will get you know off ramp for our relationship with Russia. That's the first thing I see. USA will try to wean Russia away from China. It might not happen immediately, but I think that will be the larger goal to break that partnership somehow, which might happen, mind you. But this will, I suppose, depending on how Trump plays out. This is it. Trump talks a lot. What he does is something different. Um if it plays out well in the next 2 years, you'll see a change story there with Russia. My own view is the Israel has gone over the hill in terms of its threat, and that is because Hezbollah has now come for a ceasefire deal for 60 days, which leaves Gaza and Hamas on a limb. That I'll do the analysis separately one of these days. And Iran is also quiet, so there's a dynamic which is happening there, and that means our IMEC will start moving up. Understand this. And I expect IMEC to go through in the next 2 3 years. I also expect a lot of Pak China collusion. Yesterday, Brigadier Arun Sehgal outlined it. So I'll talk of it day after tomorrow and explain to you what is the actual features, the nuts and bolts of that story. So we're going to have a problem on our Western Front. And I've been saying our Western Front now is not only Pakistan, it's Pakistan plus North Arabian Sea. China won't trouble us on the LAC. That's my view. Unless an incident happens, I don't think China has the capability to do so. And you'll have pinpricks in the Indian Ocean. Uh, the focus will be on South China Sea and Western Pacific, how things play out there. Containment of China is going to be the big talk. So we'll do it. Yeah, the resident expert हूँ ना मैं. I know I've been studying this. I've been telling you people I'll do it for a long time, long time. Maybe next time, next week sometime, as things start moving, I'll do it. So now the need came, I've explained South China Sea to you. Then when the need comes, I'll explain what's happening in Philippines also. So all this is there. Okay. So we'll start playing a important role. There's no doubt, right? And our thing, as far as we are concerned, is we have to focus on our economy. We've got this window again, and this window for the next 4 5 years, I don't see a problem. China will be a problem. We'll handle it. Okay, and you'll see in the next 5 years that China going down. I'm very clear about it. There'll be a lot of hype about China, but the factors which go into China's economy, military, and all will start going down. Today, there's a news that one more top PLA general has been sacked. The current defense minister is also under a cloud. And the chap who's been sacked is part of the Central Military Commission. So PLA as a good force is doubtful. Big question mark. Let's see. That's how I look at it. Do you think the timing between Adani and indictment coming after Putin stating his wish to visit India soon quite odd coincidence, or maybe US settle? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Strong gaming. It's strong arming. Yes, completely. Well, I don't see that Adani thing as something, I mean, look at it. That fellow, the indictment is about him bribing someone in India. Oh, why are they problem making an issue there? In any case, what is it? Because of that indictment, only his listing on that Wall Street is a question mark. So what if it doesn't? Nothing will happen. But this is part of the story. We have to understand that they'll do it. Okay, this is will be there. But will it be there once Trump comes in is to be seen. That's the point. The evidence is it might not happen that much. But America itself, just because Trump has come in, is not a united nation. The way I look at it, it's quite a disunited states of America. Remember, Trump just got about 52% of the vote, or 51% of the vote, and Kamala Harris got 49% of the popular vote. So there are about 50% almost who are not interested in, you know, following Trump's ideas. There are a lot of chaps of the Democrats who are against India. So they'll still talk. These things will still happen. The only thing is the government position on these things might be a little softer. That's about all. So let us see. We're going to go into, like I said, changes in the air, and we should change. This is an opportunity for us to change better. Yeah, let me. Trump wishes Thanksgiving to left lunatics as well as if it goes by his words. Yeah, Let's see how it happens. Uh, okay. All this leads only to our opponents to the north, west, and east to get together to externalize their respective internal problems. It would appear that our borders may heat up. Your views. Yeah, I agree with you. And we'll discuss this day after tomorrow. Just hold to your questions. The border along Tibet might not, but this Pakistani fellow might start, you know, doing something. Let's see. Interesting times, like I said. Are these US hawks creating chaos for the coming Trump administration? With India, they have Adani and Bangladesh. With Russia, they have Ukraine MIRV. Will Israel, they have. No, these strong US hawks are the incoming administration, right? They are hawks on China. Okay. The existing hawks will go away. So these people are committed to getting peace in the Western Hemisphere and getting shifting focus onto the Eastern Hemisphere, which I think is a good thing overall. Okay, shouldn't Biden administration apply all tariffs on China that Trump is planning to take away credit of these from Trump? Look, if Biden administration puts all the tariffs, still the credit won't go off. See, the thing about tariff is how do you handle that tariff after that? What is the deal you get out of the tariff? That deal, Trump is good, so let him do it. It will happen. And Biden doesn't have the time, despite all these sanctions and tariffs. NIA found foreign influence in Manipur. Yeah, this must be the discovery of the century. You don't need NIA to say that there is foreign influence in Manipur. We've been telling this for the past 2 years. Sir, there are a lot of bots with Indian names. Yeah, I agree with you. I know that. Sir, you explained how US military is planning in South China Sea. China must be closely watching this development. Do you think China may drop its plan to invade Taiwan or China developing counter to US? See, China will know. That's why I said all these developments I got from where? Chinese South China Morning Post. वो हिंदू में तो आया ही नहीं है ना या इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में तो नहीं है इट्स नॉट इन नॉर इज इट इन वॉशिंगटन पोस्ट all these are happening there so they are keeping track of it and they are reporting it obviously they know the difficulties and in any case if all those PLA generals are being sacked left right and center every second day how will China invade Taiwan and all and I told you there's unrest happening in within China. Oh, economy is not reviving. Where will he go? So, Taiwan and all is a little far away. Yeah, they're making an Arctic Silk Road now. Look, anything to do with China is silk. Oh, they'll call it silk. Okay. They'll go to the toilet and call it a toilet Silk Road. Yeah. Leave it at that. Chinese must be mad that he lost his Korean. No, 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 no. He's not mad. He's worried. That's why I said I'll explain to you uh, what the dynamics there are. And that, see, understanding the dynamics there makes you wiser as to how to handle China. That's the point. Sir, if it is beneficial for China to disengage in LAC, then why should we allow it? Is it not possible that if their eastern flank is safe, they might come after us again in LAC? Okay, look, we are not disengaging from them. All what has happened is you ease relations. Those face-to-face, you know, deployments have been broken. In that bottleneck in Depsang, you are face-to-face. Same in Demchok. Those have been taken out. So the tensions have gone down. And you started patrolling as per a plan. Nowhere else anything has happened. You're not, there's no, you only disengaged. You're not denuded the LAC of troops. You're not thinned out troops from there. Okay? There's no, you're looking at de escalation. That's about all. That's all. So that, step by step. When I read former chairman of China Bank sentenced to death, Sir's video came straight. Yeah, look, it's today another CMC guy. He's been off, finished. Let's see where it goes. Sir, Biden administration is trying to burn the world, and Trump will take over in February. You think they will try to destabilize India also by provoking India by Bangladesh? No, no, don't worry. Bangladesh is a basket case. Yesterday only, today morning I released a video. 2 days back I did a live show. I edited it and released it today. Have a look at it. We'll have different problems from Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is going to be trouble us for a long time. Okay, their problems in Bangladesh are different. So one of these days, maybe I'll get a panel to discuss it again. We'll do it. Oh, came here 30 minutes late. Oh, Lakshan, thanks a lot. How's the weather in South Africa? And I wish you all the best because the World Cup, the Champions Trophy might shift there. I do hope it shifts there and not stay in Pakistan. Okay. Uh, the K4 test would be up. Yeah, we'll talk of the K4 test separately. Let some details come out. So far, details have not come out, and I don't want to talk what I know about it till the thing is public. I'll talk of it when it comes. Will US China competition happen predominantly near China's neighborhood, or will China spread the game board elsewhere? Where does China have most leverage on USA? What are China's biggest cards? Yeah, that's a very good question, Manoj. The military part will happen there around China's periphery, like I told you. The trade part will happen Mexico, Canada, and of course China. And then to offset that, the game plan is IMEC and India. There's no other game plan. A certain amount of manufacturing might go back to USA. That's about all. This is the whole game plan, right? So China's leverage is through trade. That's all. There's nothing. There's no other leverage China has on USA. It might not cooperate on a few issues and all that, no problem. But if the Middle East cools down and Ukraine, Russia cools down, who'll lose maximum? China. बहुत खूब विश्लेषण अच्छी जानकारी धन्यवाद थैंक यू आप सबका वो मेरा यही विनती है कि ज्यादा लोग आके हमारे चैनल में सब्सक्राइब करें और इस ये वीडियो को फैलाएं राइट सो इफ यू लाइक इट प्लीज press that like button and I'd request you to tell your friends also to join Gunner Shot as subscribers and I would like you to join as members also. Yeah, why can't we bring back Liaquat and Nehru agreement back on table? Why Modi silent? Look, I think it'll take a little time, but it'll happen. Whatever is to happen with the, whatever is to happen with Bangladesh, just wait. There is time yet for this. Okay. Thanks for the excellent analysis. Thanks a lot, Raviji. Thanks for coming and joining us. Yeah, one day we'll meet you, sir. Maybe you'll give me a call. Give me some time. Oh, sure. Anytime. Anytime. I have no problem. I'm in Chennai. I'm in IIT. Oh, my email is there in the um, channel details. Just give me a mail. A lot of people have been giving me mails, and I've been responding. I don't mind meeting anyone. Only thing is, at times, things have become so busy that I don't get time to meet uh, people. And my free time is this. This is the time when I'm free. So that's how I started this whole story of you know yeah. I'm hoping that my hope. Let me see. It's an old man's hope. I'm hoping that by February 25, that'll mark 2 years of Ghana shot. Actually, when I started really the way I'm doing now, I'm hoping that by then I'll get at least 50,000 subscribers. Help me to help. I mean, get. I'll be grateful. right? And I have one more request. I keep tweeting out my views and all that. I request all of you to retweet or put your comments and push it forward. Uh, that's all I have. I think I have. If there are any questions more, I'll take them on. We have time. Time is not an issue. I don't have any time. Yeah, Amitesh says maximum manufacturing should come to Bharat. Amitesh, the problem is Bharat should, make uh, way for this to happen. Mm, Look, I see this happening in Tamil Nadu. The way this chief minister is getting everyone and making things happen. But is this happening in other states? No. And in maybe in some other states like Maharashtra and maybe Gujarat, things are happening. But what about other states? That's a $1 million question. So I hope more comes. And I do hope states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, um, UP, Bihar, even Bengal, get some more manufacturing capability. It'll, do a lot of good for us. And some manufacturing capability should go to Kashmir. If it goes there, it'll cool that place down and it'll open up a lot of avenues. So that's all I have for today. Tomorrow evening, I'm getting General Raj Shukla over. General Raj Shukla will talk about disengagement and deterrence. Very interesting topic. I wanted him to speak on deterrence. He said, okay, I'll speak on disengagement to deterrence. I said, carry on. And that's what it will be tomorrow. And day after tomorrow, I'm going to get Commander Sandeep Dhawan. He's written a fantastic article on the chaos which he expects in the next 10 years and how India navigates it. So it's a bit of a prospective thing, which is something good. And then on Sunday, we'll have an open house where I'll talk of Chinese mercenaries and all that. Okay. Yeah, what do we need to do to achieve parity or exceed PLA rocket force? We don't need to do any parity. We don't need to exceed PLA rocket force. We have enough to handle PLA rocket, right? We are interested in that. Numbers don't matter. What you can put on ground matters. We have enough for that. Okay, right. Uh, yeah. Elon Musk says drones are better than F-15, etc. Elon Musk can say what he wants. He doesn't fight. Okay, he's not gone to the battlefield to fight. So I'll explain this also. I have this maybe on Monday. That's the topic I'm going to say: fighters versus drones versus guns versus missiles. Which are better? Comparative assessment. I'll do that on Monday, and then you'll clarify the whole story will get clarified. Okay, right. Till then, thanks a lot. Good evening and Jai Hind to all of you.